I would like to talk about something that I experienced this week only because Prime is, I think it was Prime. Prime is awesome and they throw rando things at me. I watched the Get Smart movie, not the first one, not the third one, but the second one. That's where I was at this week.
What?
And it reminded me that, you know what? TV shows used to be movies. And I like those days. Yes.
There's 3 Get Smart movies?
Yeah, at least. I think there's probably 4. So there was the Nude Bomb. There was the one I watched. There was the one with The Rock and Steve Carell.
That was the first one.
The first one was the Nude Bomb, like 1982, I think.
Oh, are you talking about TV movies?
Ah, see, perfect. I love that because there are both TV shows that were made into movies, but also TV shows that were made into TV movies.
Right, because I wouldn't call Return to Gilligan's Island a movie. It's a TV movie, right? Because it didn't get theatrical release. Like I think
no, I agree, and it lands in that middle spot. And I love that.
I think the one with The Rock and what's his name, Steve Carell is the only one that got theatrical, right? I don't think they did like.
Yes, that is probably true.
I didn't know if they had done the Inspector Gadget thing where they just like changed up the whole cast and did another one after that.
But I know exactly where we're going to head first because it is one of your favorite TV shows that were made into movies. Tell everybody about the joy, the wonder, and the amazement that is the Beverly Hillbillies.
Do you know I legitimately love this movie?
I know you do. That's why I want to talk about it first.
I've watched it so many times. Okay. It might be the best cast movie in like film history.
Could be.
Because I actually think a couple of the characters work better in the movies than they do in the show.
I can see that.
But like Granny, she is spot on for Irene Ryan. Like she still brings the Cloris Leachman, but like they pair so well. Like it's kind of hard to pick a favorite. Miss Hathaway, like they are both like equally great. And Drysdale. First of all, you're one person away from having a 9 to 5 reunion in the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because Dolly Parton shows up, and Dolly Parton's the absolute best. But no, I love everything about that movie. And you're like, but it's cheesy. It's like, did you see the show?
Right.
Did you see the show? And I think that's what a lot of people forget when they watch these, where it's like the Ladies' Man movie. And it's like, okay, yeah, did you watch the 4-minute segment the sketch that they would do? Like,
exactly.
This is the best you're gonna get from this. Like, it's perfect. You know, it matches it perfectly. But
I think about that Bewitched when you say that, just kind of that transition from the TV and the vibe, and then people didn't understand.
Well, because it's not the same thing. It's too meta. You know, when you're like, it's a movie about them making the show, but they use a real witch. You're like, no, I'm out. And then you're like, what's the Beverly Hillbillies about? It's the Beverly Hillbillies. Like,
it's the same.
Now, the funny thing about that is it's like impossible to find now. Like, I don't think
I did notice that. I was looking recently, and I saw that.
Yeah, it is impossible to find. And it's like, usually it's not too hard to find those. I think it was a Paramount movie, because usually it was Paramount that did those TV to movies in the 90s. But,
yes.
Yeah, man, I love that one.
Yes. And, you know, another reason that I kind of came on this topic is because a lot of these made-for-TV movies, whether it's off a TV show or whatever, have been popping up. And I missed that time, like, because it was so much fun. And we've done a little bit. USA is probably the network that did it the most recently. They've done Psych, they've done Monk, you know, they do all those kind of TV shows. And then we come up last year with the freaking Fall Guy. Did anybody even remember that was a TV show?
No. That was part of the problem, is that they were making the movie 40 years too late. And, and the Fall Guy isn't like readily in syndication. So in the early 90s, when you had stuff like the Beverly Hillbillies, Dennis the Menace, Addams Family, Beverly Hillbillies, they didn't do the Munsters, which is weird. But when you had all these movies being made off of stuff from the 60s, they were still in syndication like every morning.
Absolutely.
You know, so like I'm kind of surprised we didn't get an F Troop movie. You know, I think that one, they're like, the racial stuff, that might have been the only thing. But like most of those big 60s shows, like we got movies, and like let's not sleep on probably the best one if you want to go for like just like best cinema, The Fugitive.
Oh, absolutely.
The Fugitive.
Well,
like,
I was going to.
It's
Yeah,
so.
go ahead.
It's that's one of those meat and potatoes movies that it's so good. You're like, why don't people like respect this more? And you're like, oh, it's because it's so meat and potatoes. Where it's just like, we're going to do this. It's not going to be flashy, but it's going to be like the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Only seen it 800 times, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's one of those where I'm
Mission
probably going
Impossible.
to watch it when we're done.
Oh, for sure. Mission Impossible, whenever that came out, same kind of
Right.
thing. Like, based off that TV
And that's
show,
off 2 TV shows.
based off 2 TV
Yeah.
shows that I'm sure people probably don't even remember were TV shows whenever that came out. Much less now, because people don't remember anything about anything.
yeah.
Hey, I love that you threw out Dennis the Menace. I'd completely forgot
yeah.
that was the thing, and that's why you're my
McHale's Navy?
co-host. Mikhail's fucking Navy.
Sergeant Bilko. Those both got movies. I've seen both of those. There were a lot in the 90s, and I think it was also because that was the time when you got these big conglomerates going, and movie studios merged with the entities that own the shows.
Synergy, baby.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm really surprised we never got a Knight Rider movie.
It is. That seems like a pretty easy. What happened to that? We're going to do some research. I'm going to find out next podcast.
There are a couple of issues with the rights. I know that. But here's the biggest issue. Without Hasselhoff in a successful Hasselhoff project, it's not going to work.
Oh, no, of course
I actually
not.
talked about-
They redid it, right? Did you watch the remake?
Okay, so they've done you had the original Knight Rider, then you had the TV movie Knight Rider 2010.
Yes.
No, 2000. Knight Rider 2000. Then,
2000,
then you
yes.
had a TV movie that was supposed to be a series that never got picked up for the UPN Action Pack called Knight Rider 2010, and that one 2000, whatever, and that one was bad. Like really, that was like Mad Max. Then you had Team Knight Rider, right? And that
Sure.
ran for like 2 seasons. And
Sure.
then you had the Knight Rider reboot that started out as a TV movie, and they got picked up for series, and they changed a lot of stuff, and they didn't bring back Hasselhoff, who was at the end of the TV movie.
I hope everybody just noticed that curling of his face that Matt did when he tried to talk about that as nicely as possible. That was good stuff.
Well, I'm trying to remember the history of it. And then when I got to interview Hasselhoff a few years ago, right before Baywatch came out, and I asked him about it, and I said, "So, what's your involvement with it?" Because he created the show, and he produced it, and he said, "They're doing their thing, and they asked me for some suggestions, and I told them what they should do, and I don't think they're going to listen to me. And if it works, it works, and if not, maybe they'll listen to me next time." And he was super diplomatic about it. And then I watched the movie, and it's like, oh, they didn't listen to him at all. And you had a movie with like the most beautiful people ever in it, and it didn't do well. And it's like none of the other stuff with Knight Rider did well. It's literally Hasselhoff. Like, you can't deny at that point. Like,
Yeah.
it's Hasselhoff. Like, he has this weird charisma that people just love. They love
He
to watch
brought
it.
down the Berlin Wall, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, like it didn't hurt. But like, think about it. Like, Knight Rider is mostly a show about a guy in a car talking to himself, and he made it work.
Yep. It was weird that it took 25, 30 years for A-Team to be a movie, because that seems like such
Yeah.
an easy movie for me. Because Magnificent Seven, you've got the Dirty Dozen. You just put dudes together and you make a movie about that. It seems pretty easy. In the end, I think it worked for me. It's not my favorite Carnahan movie, but it's
Well,
definitely I enjoyed the heck out of it.
you're in love with Bradley Cooper as well. So
I am absolutely in love with Bradley Cooper as well. He is adorable and in all ways, shapes, and form. And Liam Neeson plays Hannibal. You can't really go wrong with that. That was one of my favorite.
who was your
TVs
favorite
made.
in the show?
In the show? Oh, Face. All I ever wanted to be was as sexy as Face. If I could have been like 3 points prettier than I am now, that's where I'd have been loving it to be.
I mean, even made
What is the
Starsky and
greatest?
Hutch.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
Wild Wild West.
It seems like, as we're looking back through this and you're talking, every 10 years or so, they started to do this.
Yeah.
Because along with Starsky and Hutch, they did a couple other TV shows at that time, too, into movies, and they all felt miserably because I think a lot of times there's not an understanding on how to bridge that gap between the two, because there's a bit of inherent cheesiness in a TV show for the most part, which doesn't always translate over to movies. The hardest part about watching the Get Smart movie is there's no laugh track. So all the jokes don't hit because you're so used to that rhythm of having that laugh track, and it was so weird to me.
You know what? I'm even going to say that the 2009 Star Trek was
Chris Pine.
I think that one was actually more in the lines of finding. I said at the time to my wife, I said, it feels like someone at Paramount, like we're in an alternate timeline where Star Trek aired in the 60s and then never again. There were no more movies, no more TV shows, nothing. And then someone in like 2008 was sitting around an office and they said, hey, you know what we own the rights to? That remember that old show from the 60s called Star Trek? We need to make a movie about that. And it felt so singular. It felt like a movie made from the series with like none of the other baggage, right? And like if you think about it that way, it's like, oh, they would make it like with more action, because it wouldn't be as cerebral and the characters wouldn't be like, they wouldn't go into as much character work because the original show didn't.
Yeah.
So I'd say even that one is kind of in that vein where it's like they're rebooting the series and not like continuing everything else.
I dig on that. Hey, I love to rank things. Not that I have to be 1, 2, 3, but I just like to rank things. Let's start with your top 3 favorite TV shows that were made into TV movies first. We're going to start with just TV. What you got for that?
Into TV movies?
Yeah, just like the Monk made a TV show, a movie and that kind of stuff.
Let's go with Knight Rider.
I like it. Okay.
Because the TV movie they did, Knight Rider 2010, or I think it's Knight Rider 2000. The one with David Hasselhoff. I like that one.
Okay.
And, let's go with. I think I'm going to go with. Oh man, Gilligan's Island.
Okay. I'm good with that.
And man, I don't. I'm trying to think of other like ones that got TV movies.
I know it's kind of hard, but there's some quality ones in there. I'm going to give you Alf. Anybody that says that they don't enjoy the Alf movie but enjoy the TV show, you're broken, because that movie is actually really good. Freaking Martin Sheen is in that movie. Martin Sheen. Have you ever seen the Veronica Mars movie? Also pretty fantastic.
I've never seen anything from Veronica Mars.
I had not seen it. I thought I'd saw it before, but we watched the first season recently. I was like, oh, nope, didn't know anything that was going on in there. Not at all.
Man,
all right,
like,
we need a number 3.
You've broken my brain because I'm trying to think of...
We need a number 3 TV show that has been made into a TV movie. And the correct answer is The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's my number 1, actually. That's my number 1, then Knight Rider. Yeah. Oh, man, The Trial of the Incredible Hulk. I actually rewatched that recently. That one's actually pretty good. And then, of course, The Death of the Incredible Hulk. When I was a kid, I was crying.
I cried.
Cried. My parents had to... I was like, they're going to make more. And they're like, no, sweetie. No, this is the end. I'm like, you can't kill the Incredible Hulk.
Yep. Watched it on VHS a lot of times.
I watched it as it aired.
Oh, man.
Man, that one hurt.
Great. Now I'm broken.
Yeah. Right?
Hey, you know what I love more than anything else in the world? Well, it's top 73 things that I love in this world.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yes.
El Camino.
Oh. Sure.
Yeah.
Movies and marketing. What a combo that is. They do it the best. They do it the most unique. They do it the weirdest. And I want to say that I've had some great ad campaigns for movies over the years that I've enjoyed, that I want to talk about, my friend. So let's kind of start out with, I think that the one thing that we've talked the most about as far as advertising in movies goes is Demolition Man, because it was part of the movie. Like that, the whole thing was synergy in that way. Is there any other movie like that, honestly?
Well, Pizza Hut and Back to the Future 2.
There you go. That's a good one.
But there's only one. Yeah, there's one scene. But I mean, they literally make it like a big plot point. In Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Because if you're just talking about like brand tie-ins, you've got like E.T. made Reese's what it is.
Oh, a bazillion percent.
Yeah. I mean, like that's famous. Where like Eminem was just like slapping themselves in the face. You know, like what do we do?
Hey, let's go trivia immediately. I'm going trivia straight off the top on this one. What was the item that Taco Bell introduced for the original Batman 1989 movie?
Oh. I want to say a chalupa.
Ooh, I like the guess. It was cinnamon twists.
Cinnamon twist. That makes no sense.
If you want to get some Batman cinnamon twist bags right now on eBay, you can for $30.
Now we need to talk about Batman because I was trying to explain to my kids the size and scope of that marketing blitz for the 1989 Batman. And unless you were there, I don't think you can truly appreciate it. Because the only other one we saw that's even close to that size is Star Wars Episode 1. And even that didn't feel as oppressive as Batman. Because Episode 1 lasted from like March or maybe February of 99 through the rest of the summer. Right. Batman felt like it was 2 years of that logo everywhere you turned.
Yep.
You know, people quoting the movie in commercials and stuff like for their own products, you know, like, well, you'll get a load of our deals, you know. That one was everywhere.
It's amazing that sometimes some of those campaigns with that at the time, they were just using the Bat logo. That's all they needed.
That's all you needed back then.
Chef's kiss for that.
That one was huge. Oh, Taco Bell and Godzilla. That was a big one. Didn't help the movie.
Oh, yeah. Taco Bell is definitely right up there with a lot of the other ones of trying to be in movies as much as they possibly can.
Well, Pepsi's smart about it. McDonald's and the Flintstones was a big one.
Okay. Yep.
And then
I remember that.
And then there's the infamous McDonald's and Batman Returns.
I thought you were going to say Mac and Me, but that one is good too.
No, but McDonald's and Batman Returns, that is the reason why we didn't get a third Tim Burton Batman movie.
Right. Yeah, that is a little sad. It is how it is. Hey, who is the, you know what? Another trivia question for you. Who is the beer brand that advertises the most in movies?
Oh, Coors.
Shiner Bock, man. Shiner. Tell me an independent film of from 1990 to 2010 that didn't have a Shiner Bock.
Stats on this, or you're just like speaking anecdotally.
Yeah, that's just my knowledge. What was I watching? I was watching the McConaughey movie the other day, and I was like, oh, hey, look at that Shiner Bock.
Because I mean, let's not forget like the entire plot of Smokey and the Bandit is him, you know, getting Coors across the country.
Sure. God, see, that's why I miss watching rando movies on TV, because I haven't seen that movie in too long.
Oh, I got the 4K, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
Is it necessary? Is 4K necessary?
You know what? When you're taking a look at the comparison between the new 4Ks on some of them and a Blu-ray that was done in like 2008, it's a big deal, especially for an older movie with a lot of grain.
Ah, okay.
It's a more naturalistic looking picture, and some of them can actually look pretty close to film.
How much do you think this idea that merchandising baby versions of the character is the greatest invention of the last 2 decades? Because Baby Yoda and Baby Groot probably have made those 2 movies 20% more money because of those 2 things.
Well, that's because the Muppet Babies did it first.
Always give love to the Muppets.
Yeah, no, I mean, so the thing with Grogu, you know, Baby Yoda, is the fact that everybody likes Yoda, but he looks exactly like Gizmo, and that worked in 2 movies before. You know, people sold millions of those little door hangers, or the car windshield hangers. You know,
sure.
So they basically just painted it green. You know, and it works. It's one of the smartest things anyone's ever done.
The only reason I think about this now, because it's coming out, or maybe it's already in theaters, I don't know, but the ad campaign that I will never forget in my entire freaking life was just a 30-second trailer for that stupid Stephen King's The Shining. That stupid monkey with those things will be in my nightmares forever. Sometimes it's just that simple. Sometimes your movie just needs something like that. 30 seconds tease, boom, you're going to be there. No toys, no nothing else. You don't need any advertisements. You just need to scare the crap out of people and they will show up.
Can we talk about when a great ad campaign kind of screws up a little bit? Episode 1. People were buying tickets to other movies just to see the trailer for episode 1.
Right.
And then when the merchandise came out like a month before the movie, you had things like Darth Maul's double-bladed lightsaber like got spoiled, right? But also, the soundtrack when it came out had listed Qui-Gon's Noble End.
Okay.
So you knew Qui-Gon was dying before you even saw the movie.
I don't even know who any of those people that you just said are. You know what? Just while we're here, I just want people to know that I'm dedicated to all marketing for movies, good and bad. And that's why I own a Batman and Robin Clark Radio.
I got to say, I like Batman and Robin more than Batman Forever because I think they got what they were trying to do better in that, which was they were trying to make a version of the TV show from the 60s,
right.
But they forgot to put the jokes in. They thought they had jokes.
Which one starts with the hockey game? Mm-hmm. That's the one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like that first 15 minutes, but once you get past that, it's a friggin' really good movie.
It's what if it is what would have happened if Burton had never done his too.
Yeah, agreed. And it's all fine by that. What? Oh, man. We're right in the middle of time, so you're going to have to ramble on a little bit here in our last segment. Our last segment, as always, is to tell the people things that you've been watching that you enjoyed, that you feel that they, too, will enjoy. I've got a couple on my list. I'm sure you've got a couple on your list. What may you tell us have you been watching recently that the people should get into?
I'm going to say people should check out The Gorge just, because it's not bad. It's not bad. Miles Teller is fun to watch. I always like seeing Anya Taylor-Joy. Can
I get a top 4 Apple movies of all time?
How about we come back to that? I can do shows because I'm more familiar with their shows.
Because Apple movies suck is my point. Go.
And I would say that my second thing to watch is Severance because we're over halfway through the season, and man, it's just the best show. It's turned into a show that I really like, from a show that I really like into a show that I love. And I like the fact that they're not wasting time. They're not having 4 episodes of, is he going to make the decision? It's just, no, I made this decision. Let's do it. It's refreshing that they're not dragging it out. I just hope it doesn't end with another cliffhanger and then we wait 3 years and find out that, deals have fallen apart or the world's blown up or something. So I'd say watch that. Also, I was watching Paris, Texas, and that's it's definitely not going to be for everybody. It's a slower film, and Stanton is a little frustrating, to say the least.
Have you ever seen it in the theater?
No,
or just at home?
No, I haven't.
I'd love to see that in the theater.
I think it'd probably play better in a theater, especially like a smaller, older theater. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want to see it at an Alamo Drafthouse. I would want to see it at a theater that has uncomfortable seats and like one decent screen. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you said the Texas theaters were going to go see it.
No, not even that. It seems like the perfect movie to see at the New Art. I don't know if you ever saw a movie at the New Art.
Nope, I don't think so.
No.
I felt that. The old LACMA theater would have been also a good place.
I've only seen, I think I've seen 1, maybe 2 movies at the LACMA. I saw Superman there, an original print of Superman.
Ooh. I saw Bonnie and Clyde there. I found my ticket from that the other day. Woo, baby. And that's why it's the greatest film of all time, because I got to see it there at a perfect time.
Did you know, real quick,
Yes.
Did you know I actually got to see the glasses that he was shot dead in?
I did not know that. Where are they at?
They were doing this exhibition, and we went to go cover it for the show. and they were just lying out, and I'm like, my camera is like 3 inches away from him, his blood's still on them, and I was just like, I've seen a lot of cool stuff, and I don't know why, but the glasses that he had on when he was murdered, that one was just like, oh man, that's a lot to take in.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, that's nice. If I wouldn't have gone to that Kubrick collection, I don't know what my answer would be, but my answer would be everything in that Kubrick collection. I couldn't help it. All right, let me tell you about a little movie that I enjoyed this last week that we've talked about before. It was from last year, and I didn't see it in the theater because I want to see it at home because I want to have my own opinions about it, and I did not want to be affected by other people. I watched Here, the new Zemeckis movie starring Tom Hanks. I found it pretty good. Pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it looked really good. I never really had any problems with the de-aging, really. I mean, there was moments, especially when they got super close to the camera, that you're like, eh. But other than that, I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as a movie. I enjoyed it as a technical, what are we doing here? I thought it was pretty fascinating. I still would have liked for him to give a little shout out to A Ghost Story, because I feel like there was a little bit of Ghost Story, David Lowery's movie in there. But it was really interesting, and it was actually pretty enjoyable. I stayed awake through the whole thing, and it was a late night movie, so I wasn't sure if I was going to.
I've watched about 7 minutes of it, and I want to try it again. I hope I like it more. Part of me got really angry when they bought that house at the beginning, and he was like, $3,500. We can't afford that. And then I said, okay, I know this is 1946. Let's see what that would translate to. And it says it translates to like $67,000 now. And I just wanted to I turned it off just to keep myself from like flipping over my table, because it's like, wait, the average house costs like $400,000 now. Like that doesn't make sense. And I got like, justifiably but unreasonably angry.
Which is kind of funny because I kind of thought this would be a movie that you would enjoy and I did not enjoy.
Because it's more of a technical exercise?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I think you're more of a Zemeckis fan than I am. Though maybe I'm more of a weird Zemeckis fan than you are. I don't know.
I like most of what he did until, what was it, Polar Express.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I don't think I've liked much of what he's done after.
Always trying something. I mean, he is the equivalent of James Cameron in that way. Like he's always testing out new technology and stuff. And that doesn't necessarily make you a good filmmaker, but it does make you somebody who's important in the industry that's pushing things forward. And we've got to have those people.
Yeah. I almost liked Flight. I almost really liked Flight, but
I had so much fun during Flight. I was going to give you another movie, but instead we're going to do a rapid fire quick test on you. We're going to do a versus. Do I love a podcast that already does this idea? Yes, I do. And I'm stealing it, and I don't care.
Okay.
What's up?
All right.
What's up? Come get at me, Nori. Here we go. Rapid fire. First one, Jurassic Park 3 or Jurassic World?
For you?
No, for you.
Oh, Jurassic Park 3.
All right. Funny horror or funny drama?
Ooh, funny horror.
Funny horror. Okay. How about this one? VHS or DVD?
Depends on what we're watching.
Gotta make a decision.
No. It depends on what I'm watching, because I love watching old black and white movies on VHS and old cartoons on VHS, but DVD for newer movies.
Peacock or Paramount Plus?
Oh, Paramount Plus. It's got all Star Trek, and it has Jackass, and it has well, God, what's the name of it? Beavis and Butthead. So yeah.
Nice. And final one, Spielberg or Lucas?
Spielberg.
There you go. Rapid fire versus. You have answered all your questions. You didn't have to drink, even though I forgot to make that a stipulation of the game, but that's okay. We made it through. And you know what? We have made it through another perfect episode. Can I tell you that word around the water cooler that nobody uses anymore, that if Alfred Hitchcock was still alive, he wouldn't listen to our podcast.
No,
but he would support the idea of people talking about movies.
Do you know what he said his favorite movie was?
No.
Smokey and the Bandit.
That's my guy. I thought he was going to say Dumbo. Either one I'd take. We are done. We are through. We are out. Anything left to say before we go?
See ya.